Hello everyone, my name is Michael SK and welcome back to Fate Stay Night Remastered, where I don't remember what specifically happened in the previous episode because I just love taking breaks between each recording session for some ungodly reason. No, I took a little break from recording this past week, so unfortunately just, forgot everything. But I do recall that we are following Rin, and we just had another dream sequence, which is definitely from Rin's perspective, but I also question what was going on with Shirou, if he was also kind of tapping into that, because, we've seen some strange stuff. More specifically, the blades or whatever. I'm not really sure what's going on there. Now, there's a whole lot of questions to be had, and I'm very curious to see in what sort of directions everything will continue to go in here, because things are definitely different. Oh, and Shinji's definitely not out of the equation yet, because he went to the church and he was offered a second opportunity, I believe. I think he might be getting his hands on a lancer or something. I don't think it's going to be his hands on an archer, but, who knows? I get ready and drink the freshly brewed tea in the living room. I don't usually eat breakfast, so I'm quick. There's 15 minutes until I have to leave for school. This cup of tea is like a ritual that I perform every morning to wake my half-asleep body.
Rin,
Yep, there's one fool that can't read the room.
いつまでって7時半までよ。それを過ぎたら遅刻しちゃうじゃない。
誰が登校時間を言っているか。私が言いたいのは聖杯戦争のことだ。他のマスターと協力することは悪くない。だが、君の場合は選んだパートナーが悪すぎる。
はあ。
That again. Archer keeps on suggesting that I cut off my truce with Shirou Emiya at every chance he gets.
だからその気はないって言ったでしょ。アーチャーはそう言うけど、私は適任だと思う。そりゃ戦力としては不安だけど、協力者としては文句なしでしょ。エミヤ君なら何があっても裏切らないと思うしさ。
You're goddamn right.
本来、信頼は駆け引きで築くものだ。理由のない信頼など、それこそ信用ならん。いいか、あれは勝ち残れる人間ではない。協力者を選ぶというのなら、まだキャスターのマスターの方が賢い。
Caster's master is probably more dead than alive. And by that I mean it's probably just, puppeteered by Caster herself.
ふざけないでアーチャー。あんた、私にあんな外道と志を同じにしろっていうの？
I set my teacup down and look at Archer. Even if it was sarcasm, I can't ignore his implication. The atmosphere freezes. I'm seriously getting pissed, and Archer looks like he has no intention of backing down. We stare each other down.
確かに、キャスターは外道だが、あれはあれで実に魔術師らしい。その点で言えば、リンは戦いには向いていない。魔術師ならば、志より結果を取るべきだ。
皮肉を言っても無駄よ。私は方針を変えないわ。
まったく。どうしたのだ一体。エミやシロウと知り合ってからの君はおかしいぞ。以前の合理性はどこに行った？
I realize that without you even having to say it, but I can't help it. He hasn't gained anything even though he's a mage, and he's dangerously narrow-minded. There's no use in trying to scheme against such a guy, and besides, he's a what?
リン、どうした？ようやく自分の愚かさに気づいたか？
そうね。ええ、私はどうかしてる。けどアーチャー、それもこれもみんなあんたがつまんないもの見せるからじゃない。
何？
いいわ、忘れて。とにかくあんたが私のサーバントである以上、私は私が信じることしかやらない。私はエミやシロウほど甘くはないけど、それでも譲れないものがある。
I can't clap down on the anger. And that makes me realize I don't feel any sympathy even after learning about his past. I'm just mad.
ほんと。あーちゃん、返事は？
So I take it out on him as much as I can. The knight in the red coat sighs and assumes what seems to be his favorite pose.
仕方あるまい。主が不調ならば支えるのが進化の役割だからな。君が本調子になるまで陰ながら見守るとしよ
う。And he replies with an answer that's neither yes or no. I do like that we are following Reen, or we, I guess, did follow Reen there for a moment. I was hoping for a little bit more, but whatever. I wake up. I feel heavy, like there's lead inside my head. I don't know if it's because there's a lot to think about or if I'm having a weird dream. Even though I usually don't dream, I feel like I've been experiencing something like a dream recently. My brother in Christ, you are fascinated by... You've been fascinated by these two blades here for a while. Really just the whole idea behind Archer's existence just lests his personality. I often vaguely dream of swords. Among them, his blades appear frequently. Look, I think Archer's a pretty cool guy too, but, like, I don't know, this is a little weird. Though it does raise some questions. I'm sure you guys can, you know, latch on to that. I am very curious as to why, in a lot of ways, is Shirou so hung up, both consciously and subconsciously here on Archer. I curse at Archer, who's not even here, and get out of bed. And it's before 6 a.m. I can't be getting distracted by strange dreams. I should go prepare breakfast. Yes, you should. And we're already out the door. Saber sees me off as I leave the house. I've gotten used to this lifestyle, and the morning passes by smoothly. Oh, my bad. Without anything particularly happening. Sorry, guys, I got excited and right-clicked. I don't see Tosaka by the school gate. Since the only lead we had, Issei, ended up innocent, I bet she's busy running around gathering information. But the question is how to do that. Tosaka's probably investigating the people at school, so I should investigate the building one more time. Well, it's not like we'll be able to conveniently find out what we didn't know before. I used the break, and the first half of lunch to look around school, but I couldn't find any abnormalities. Oh, thanks, I guess. They must have finished lunch already, as Issei acknowledges my efforts while reading an old poetry anthology.
Thank you. 飯食うからお茶もらうぞ。あれ、急須は？
ああ、こっちだ。しかしな、今日は昆布茶しかないがいいか。
なら左右でいいや。俺、どうも昆布茶のドロッとした感じ、ダメだ。
そうかそうか。では明日までに職員室から緑茶でももらってこよう。
I leave a rather cheerful Issei to himself and pour myself water before I sit at the table.
じゃ、いただきます。
I clap my hands together and open my lunch. At the same time, someone knocks on the door.
あれ、Issei、お客さん。
ん？こんな時間にか。
Issei slowly goes to the door. Oh, it's this guy. The visitor is Mr. Kuzuki, the teacher in charge of the student council. I run into him often, and I bet he thinks I let myself into the student council room overly frequently. I quietly eat my ground chicken lunch. He must have nothing to report today, as Issei and Mr. Kuzuki are just chatting. I munch on my food. I work on finishing up.
先生、そろそろ時間ですが。
そうか、邪魔をしたな。言わずとも承知しているだろうが、戸締まりは忘れないように。下校時間も厳守したまえ。
はいはい、分かってますって。
Mr. Kuzuki leaves and Issei comes back in a rather good mood. Wow, that was a rarity. Surichiro Kuzuki chatting with a student, and with a normally rather shy Issei. Well, they might get along because they're both stubborn, but it's still odd.
なあ、Issei、
んなんだエミヤ。
いや、前から疑問に思っていたんだが、お前とクズキ仲いいのか？
No, he's surprised.
いや、答えられないならいい。ふとそう思っただけだから気にするな。
ああ、違う違う。そういえばエミヤには言ってなかったな。と気がついてね。
Oh.
仲がいいのは当然なのだ。何しろクズキ先生は俺の兄貴分みたいなものだからな。
No, at least we were not informed on that one.
は？
Mr. Kuzuki is like Issei's big brother.
ちょっと待て、それどういうことだ？
だから兄貴分だって。総一郎。クズキ先生は3年ほど前からうちに居候をしているんだ。見ての通り朴突な人柄だが、裏表のない誠実な心をしている。同じ屋根の下で暮らしていて、人間として尊敬できるのだ。
Well,
兄として慕うのは当然だろう。
wasn't he saying stuff about like, you know, there being a woman there on the premises and something about his brother in some sort of way? I can't remember the specifics behind it because I keep on leaving these giant ass gaps between my recording sessions. But I think we might have a new lead on a potential master for caster, maybe that, or this is just another, you know, ticking time bomb of sorts.
クズキが竜道寺に住んでいる？
What the fuck? I feel like the back of my head has been hit, if that's what you want to call whatever the fuck that was. But I forced myself to stay calm on the outside and ask Issei to continue.
そういえば最近見慣れない女がいるって言ったよな。そいつのことクズキは知ってるのか？
知ってるも何も。あの女はクズキ先生の言い名付けだ。
Oh.
近々祝言をあげるから、それまで部屋を貸し与えている。
Guys, I think we might know who Caster's master is all of a sudden. And I didn't predict this at all. God damn it. A second shock.
一世、そういうの見慣れない女って言わないんじゃないのか？
I tried my best to object through dizziness.
見慣れない女は見慣れない女だ。クズキ先生の言い名付けであろうと、名前も知らない女など、それで十分だろう。
Oh. Issei ends the conversation clearly uncomfortable. Anyways, regardless of the source, this is news I can't ignore. Sorichiro Kuzuki commutes from Ryoto Temple and a woman who is staying at Ryoto Temple. I heard that Mr. Kuzuki's fiancé showed up about a month ago. If that was Caster, then we pretty much have our answer. That's what I'm saying. We really connected the dots on this one, didn't we, gang?
と、そういうわけなんだが。
In class after school, there's only 10 minutes until we have to go home, but I tell Tosaka about Mr. Kuzuki.
どうだろう。一世のこともあるし、竜道寺に住んでるからって怪しいと決めつけるのはどうかと思うんだが。
クズキ先生か。マスターとしての気配っていうより、そもそも魔術師じゃないんだけどな、あの人。
I don't know if she's even listening to me, as she frowns like she's not convinced.
魔術師じゃない？なんだ、よかった。それじゃあとりあえずクズキは除外か。
Oh, hold on now.
なんで？そんな怪しいやつ、マスターに決まってるじゃない。
Okay, I guess I'm starting to get used to this. But I still can't keep up with Tosaka's thought process.
今夜にでも仕掛けるわよ。学校に手を回して夜勤になるように仕向けるから。エミヤ君も準備しといて。
ちょっと待て。いくらなんでもそれはなし。クズキを夜勤にするって、それじゃ今夜にでも戦うっていうのかよ。
当然でしょ。クズキが明日も学校に来る保証はないもの。機会は待ったなし。夜まで学校に残らせて、帰り道であいつがマスターかどうか試すのよ。
念のため聞くが、マスターかどうか試すってどうやって？
実力行使。エミヤ君の時と一緒。
The way that she says that sounds oddly honeyed. She really does like pushing people around. Maybe in another lifetime, the two of us fought over a playground's peace as children.
俺は反対だ。試すにしてももっと穏やかな方法がある。
Hold on, I just
わざわざ危
wanna
険な真似をしなくてもいい。
make sure I'm not stupid. A playground's piece. Okay. I just want to make sure I read that right.
危険じゃないわよ。私だって見境なしじゃないわ。影から軽いガンドを打つだけよ。もし久月先生が一般人でも2日風邪で寝込む程度だし。
Oh yeah, because that's also fun.
いや、それも問題だろう。もし久月が本当にマスターだったらそのまま戦闘になる。こっちから手を出す以上話し合いにはならない。
But do we really want to talk to him?
わからないわね。それなら余計好都合じゃないの。一体何が危ないっていうのよ、エミヤ君は。
そっちこそわからないやつだな。だから遠坂が危ないって話だろ。
Tosaka must have finally realized as she pauses, but only for an instant.
そう。別にいいわよ。それなら私一人でやるだけだもの。
She decides just like that. Damn it. I guess there's no use saying anything to Tosaka when she's made up her mind.
わかった。俺も付き合う。遠坂を一人にしたらどんな無茶をするかわからないからな。
それはこっちのセリフよ。まったく何を言い出すかと思えば。下校時間ね。それじゃあ待ち合わせは午後7時。橋の下の公園。戦闘になるだろうからちゃんと準備してくるのよ。
She looks away and starts walking. I leave the classroom after her. Oh, this is gonna be fun. We might be getting into the thick of it here.
では今夜キャスターのマスターに仕掛けると。
いや、まだ久月がマスターだって決まったわけじゃないんだが、おおむねそうだ。
I'm going to assume that we will come across either Caster herself, somebody related to Caster, or Caster's master tonight. We gotta get something out of this, I'm sure. I give Saber a detailed account of today's events as soon as I get home. Saber agrees with Tosaka and already seems roused by the prospect.
そういうわけだから今日の鍛錬はなしだ。夕食もすぐに支度するから待ち合わせに備えよう。ってそっか。そういえば出陣の前に飯食うのって良くないのか。
I mean, the nutrients will probably help. Who's to say?
なぜそのようなことを聞くのです。戦闘時に空腹では問題があると思うのですが。
いや、腹がもたれるのかなって。あと1時間もないし、夕飯は帰ってきてからのがいいんじゃないかなって。
いえ、そのようなことはないと思いますよ。口にしたものを素早く消化するのも戦士の素質です。
Yeah, I'm gonna vote that we actually eat something.
普段から正しい生活と鍛錬をしていれば食事はあまり問題ないかと。
それはつまり夕飯は作って OK ってこと？
はい。そちらの方が大変力が出るのでは。
She just wants to eat. And I don't blame her. I see. Well, I've also trained so that I can move right after I eat, so I guess there's no problem. But well, I'll still make something light just in case. At least a little bit of protein, you know?
セイバーは？
Maybe a little sugar, just something, you
シ
know?
ローの邪魔をするわけにはいきません。私はもうしばらく気を整えておきます。
I guess she means to meditate.
了解。飯ができたら呼びに来る。
I do kind of like the connection that they have in this rendition of the story, I do have to say. It's just more straight to the point, but it's still really nice overall. I leave the dojo. It's completely dark outside. We're meeting at 7 p.m., so that means that we will ambush Mr. Kuzuki an hour after that. If Mr. Kuzuki is a master, then we'll have to fight. Caster is a cautious servant. If she found out that her master was attacked, we won't get another chance. Then we have to make sure that it is fatal, that if we're going to attack. We can't let the opponent escape, and we don't have the luxury of fleeing ourselves. No matter the opponent, in order to stop Caster from attacking all the people in the town, we must defeat her master. If all goes well, we'll take away his command spells, and he won't be a master anymore. But if worst comes to worst, and we're unable to manage that, it will probably turn into a fight to the death.
そうか。武器の一つも持っていかないとな。
A weapon from here. Well, the easiest thing to pass energy through is probably a wooden sword. My success rate at strengthening has been going up recently, so even a wooden sword would become a good weapon. but that is only the case for a normal fight. I'll need a better weapon to fight against a servant or master.
欲を言えばあいつの剣みたいに。
I imagine what I saw in my dream. The black and white twin swords. They're a length that even I'd feel comfortable using. And ultimately, I would be able to fight decently enough with them. I could protect myself without being a burden to Saber and be able to proudly say that I'm her master.
たく、ないものねだりをしてもしょうがないだろう、バカ。
Well, hold on there, buddy. I sigh and head to the porch. I'll just do what I can. For now, I'll put my energy and strength into making dinner. Saber is so serious, but it seems like she looks forward to meals. It has secretly been my joy to make her happy with them. Now, I'm no, cook. I burn water. But I definitely get it, being able to make something for someone and they actually enjoy it. It really is, worth your time and effort. It's 7 p.m. Tosuka came right on time.
お待たせ。必要なものを揃えてたら時間かかっちゃった。で、そっちの準備はどう？
I hand her the practice sword bag. There is a bokuto, a wooden sword, inside. This is all the preparation I can do.
まあ、しょうがないか。そもそも白兵戦ならこっちはセイバーがいるんだし。エミヤ君は様子を見ているだけでいいかもね。
そうだな。セイバーがいる以上、俺はセイバーのフォローをするだけだ。
Well, I find it hard to think of a situation where I actually need to watch her back.
リン、なぜアーチャーはいないのですか？
Then, with a sharp look, Saber asks a question.
遠坂、アーチャーを連れてきてないのか？
ええ、あいつなら置いてきた。今夜は奇襲だし、セイバーがいるなら必要ないでしょ。正直なところ、あいつとキャスターを合わせたくないのよ。
Tosuka starts walking. I don't know what she's thinking, but that means that we won't have the help of Archer this time. Who seems to really do a good job against counteracting whatever caster seems to throw. Archer does seem to be really good at it. Time passes. We have to cross this intersection to get to Ryoto Temple from school. It's already taken an hour to set up our territory. The simple bounded field set up by Tosuka.
外から見られるのはアウトだけど、防音だけは完璧よ。ここ一帯ミサイルが落ちても周りには気づかれないわ。
According to Tosuka, the surrounding area is too quiet. It might also be because Tosuka's field is working, but everything feels too lifeless. It's already been 7 days since the Holy Grail Wars started. It seems like the town's spirit is being slowly stripped away without anyone noticing.
来た。エミヤ君、隠れて。
Alright, let's see, guys. Let us see. Is this man actually our target? I move to the wall. I can't even hear the footsteps. There's a figure beneath the streetlight. A tall and lean physique. That familiar figure is definitely Shirou Kuzuki. Mr. Kuzuki passes by in front of us with his usual orderly footsteps. He's too defenseless. I'm assaulted with the feeling that Mr. Kuzuki might be innocent.
なあ、遠坂。
I mean, it's very
やっ
possible.
ぱりクズキは違うんじゃないのか？
まあ、やってみればはっきりするでしょ。
Well, I mean, there's two outcomes from this at this point, because we're not backing out. One, we get into a crazy battle because he is Caster's master and actually involved in the war. Or two, he gets a cold for a few days like Tosuka said. Tosuka seems to be half in doubt as well. It seems like she's still carrying on with her plan as she points her index finger towards Mr. Kuzuki. Gander. It is a curse that lowers the target's physical ability, considered to be a simple magecraft. Tosuka's is more like a gunshot instead of a gander, but I'm sure she'll lower the intensity this time.
準備はいい？エミヤ君。
She whispers. There's still time. The possibility that Shirou Kuzuki is innocent. Isn't there another way other than Gander to check if he's a master or not? There actually is. But I think that'll just lead to him killing us. So I kind of want to I kind of want to go with that's the only option here. Because, yes, this is dangerous, but it's not going to kill him if he is innocent. It's going to make him sick, but that should be it, right? We got to trust Tosuka on this, which I feel like we should be able to, since this is kind of her thing. But yeah, let's see what we have here. I mean, if he actually is a master, then we're just making the battle easier for us if this actually does hit. I'm going with that is the only option. We got to let it happen. We have to trust in Tosuka here. I clench my teeth to bear my unease. I can only brace myself now. This is also possible that this is another situation where, you know, Saber is getting ready to use her Noble Phantasm again against Berserker when, hold on, there's another way. But nothing in my mind has come up that seems like there is another way in this situation. This isn't a battle currently. I can only brace myself now. If Mr. Kuzuki is innocent, I just have to remove the curse with all my might.
仕掛けるわよ。
She takes in a small breath. A black shot is released, followed by the sound of something piercing the air. She must have said something aloud on purpose. The gander's speed is slow, and the black haze flies towards Kuzuki like a change-up pitch. A wind of disease that will cause him to be bedridden for 2 days. But 2 days of not being able to move would be fatal for a master. There has to be some kind of reaction if Mr. Kuzuki is a master.
やば。
Tosuka moves. Kuzuki doesn't react. Tosuka's gander mercilessly hits Soichiro Kuzuki's head. It is interrupted just before that. A robe suddenly appears in the space between them.
Oh.
Haha. Oh, here we go. The man who is supposed to be hit by the gander looks at us as if he knew that we were here all along. I immediately pull the wooden sword out of the bag and put magical energy into it. I don't have the time to be fumbling around with strengthening. The swirl of cloth in front of Kuzuki now takes shape. Slender limbs appear from the indigo robe. Teleportation. Actual teleportation is considered true magic in this modern world. This dark witch caster uses such a mystic with ease and appears before us.
忠告したはずですよ、宗一郎。このようなことになるから、あなたは竜道寺にとどまるべきだと。
She must not think anything of us, as Caster excuse me, as Caster talks calmly to her master Kuzuki.
そうでもない。実際に獲物は釣れた。
Ooh, what does that mean?
そうね。あまり大きな魚ではなさそうだけど、大量であることは間違いないわ。さあ、そこから出てきなさい。
It would be difficult to run now. No, if Caster and her master are in front of us, then all there is to do is fight them, even if this is in the middle of town. But before that...
出てこないの？残念ね。顔ぐらいは見ておきたかったのですけど。
何よあのタヌキ。こっちの素性なんてもう分かってるくせに。
Tosuka curses in her hiding spot. She must have heard that.
3秒あげるわ、お嬢さん。それであなたがしたことをそのまま返してあげましょう。
Caster says cheerfully and points her hand towards us. Oh, she can do a whole lot more, honestly. The absurdity of what she did before returns to my mind. She's not that naive. I'm sure she would destroy this whole area, along with the wall that we're hiding behind.
エミヤ君、合図をしたら飛んで。セイバー、準備はいい？
I sense her nodding behind me, but there's something that I need to confirm before that.
すまん。それは後にしてくれ、トサカ。
え？
I don't wait for her reply. I go out into the intersection from the shelter, wooden sword in hand.
シロ！
Tosuka must not have it in her to leave me alone in this and follows me out.
あら、意外ね。 少しは物分かりが良くなったのかしら、坊や。
Castor watches us calmly. Kuzuki stands next to her. The distance between us is about 10 meters. No matter how I think about it, Castor's fingertips would be much faster than me running to them. With full knowledge of the situation, I step forward. I have to do something before we fight. That is...
遠坂とエミヤか。マトだけではなく、お前たちまでマスターとはな。魔術師とはいえ、因果な人生だ。
So, I'm pretty sure Shinji went to this guy. He was able to figure things out before we were. To confirm the identity of Soichiro Kuzuki is the one Castor is protecting.
どうしたエミヤ？話があるのではないのか？
He asks in his usual manner. I don't feel the presence of a mage from Mr. Kuzuki. No, I don't even feel a desire for victory in this so-called war. Then...
クズキ、あんた、キャスターに操られてるのか？
It's possible that Mr. Kuzuki is being manipulated by Castor like Archer said. Until I get this cleared up, I just can't fight him. I can feel Castor's desire to kill me. That alone tells me that question is off limits for her.
うるさい坊や。殺してしまおうかしら。
Yet her words are not quite a threat. However,
待て。その質問の出所は何だ、エミヤ。
Mr. Kuzuki stops her in his usual manner.
疑問には理由があるはずだ。言ってみるがいい。
My throat is dry. It must be Castor's murderous glare. The woman in the indigo robe tells me without words that she'll kill me if I say something wrong. I bear it and...
あんたがどうやってマスターになったかは知らない。けど、あんたはまともな人間だろ。なら、キャスターがやっていることを見逃しているはずがない。だっていうのに見逃してるってことは、あんたは知らないんじゃないかって思っただけだ。
I glare back at Castor.
キャスターがやっていることだと？
ああ、そいつは竜道寺に巣を張って町中の人間から魔力を集めてる。ここ最近連続している昏睡事件は全部そいつの仕業だ。今までもそしてこれからも犠牲者は増え続ける。キャスターが魔力を吸い上げ続ける限り、いずれ死んじまう人間だって出てくるだろう。
I wonder if he actually knows. I'm assuming he has to have an inkling of it. He has to.
そいつは町の人間は生贄だって言った。取り返しのつかないことになるのはそう先のことじゃない。
なるほど、そういうことか。通常善良な人間ならばキャスターを放置できない。にもかかわらずマスターである私がキャスターを放置しているのは彼女に操られているからだと考えたわけだな。
ああ、もしあんたがキャスターの行為を知っていて放っておいているなら、あんたはただの殺人鬼だ。俺も容赦はしない。けど、あんたが操られているんなら別だ。
Okay, but what if he actually didn't know, you know? Like, what if he was like, yeah, do your own thing. I'm gonna live my own life, you know, good luck, whatever. And, you know, would you still be able to call him a murderer for that? Or if it's more of a case, if he just, you know, lets it be even now?
俺たちはキャスターだけを倒す。
いや、今の話は初耳だ。
Now there it is. His statement leaves no room for interpretation. He doesn't seem to be lying either. Soichiro Kuzuki is the same as when he lectures at school. Though relieved, I still keep my guard up against Castor. Mr. Kuzuki is also a victim if he's being manipulated. So all that's left is to defeat Castor.
だがエミヤ、キャスターの行いはそう悪いものなのか？
Huh. That's an interesting follow-up. And yet still, Soichiro Kuzuki says this as well.
なんだって。
他人が何人死のうが私には関わりのないことだ。加えてキャスターは命までは取っていない。まったく随分と半端なことをしているのだな、キャスター。そこまでするのなら一息で根こそぎ奪った方が良いだろうに。
Okay, don't give her permission here. Yeah, I mean, that definitely, that gave us the confirmation, all the confirmation we needed. Yeah, I mean, he's definitely the fucking master here. That's crazy stuff, man. The way that he says it is no different than usual. He gives his honest opinion. Soichiro Kuzuki is the same as when he lectures at school. I mean, technically, he's not involving them.
全ての人間は無関係だが、まあ私が何者であるかはそちらで言い当てただろう。私は魔術師などではない。ただのそこいらにいる朽ち果てた殺人鬼だよ。
Wow. Kuzuki takes a step back. He watches us from behind Caster.
キャスターの傀儡というのは当たっているがな。私は聖杯戦争など知らん。キャスターが殺し、お前たちが殺し合うというのなら傍観するだけだ。もっとも、私も自分の命が一番可愛い。キャスターが何を企もうと知らぬ。
Wow.
私はただ、私を阻む者を殺すだけだ。
I feel like these are the words of a man who is really just, he doesn't have anything going for them. He doesn't have any goals, aspirations in life. So here he is, you know? He just doesn't give a shit. His morals are just out the window. Caster stands in front of us, smiling in victory. In their own ways, yes. Tosaka clicks her tongue and doesn't move. Or rather, she can't move. In terms of skill as a mage, we aren't a match for Caster even put together. For masters who claim to be mages, an opponent like Caster far exceeds what we're capable of.
そうか。ではここで死しても構わんのだな。キャスターのマスターよ。
A voice behind me. Before I can turn around. The Knight of the Sword, the Servant Saber, dashes forward.
Saber!
My voice can't even keep up. Saber, already clad in silver, charges towards Kuzuki like a gust of wind.
お待ちなさい、セイバー。
Caster confronts her with a spell. She recites 5 verses. If Saber is a gust of wind for completing 10 meters in a breath, then Caster must be lightning for casting a spell even faster. A bolt of lightning from a raging storm. 5 bullets of light are shot in less than a second and stab at Saber like fatal thorns.
大魔力。いえ、私の魔術を防ぎきる騎士など知らない。
Caster screams. Even Archer had to dodge Caster's spells, but Saber's nullifying it just by glaring at it. Yet her focus is not Caster. Her target, the opponent that she must slash, is none other than the master Soichiro Kuzuki. Saber slashes Kuzuki without hesitation.
宗一郎。
Silence returns to the intersection. Saber is frozen after slashing her sword. Everyone here assumes the match is decided because of how quick the attack was. Yeah. Everyone except Soichiro Kuzuki, who stands there calmly. Why are we getting an interlude? What the fuck? Well, if anything, this kind of shows that, you know, I made the right choice there. Okay, well, I'm curious to see what is going on here, but I think this is a, this has got to be a pretty alright, you know, spot to save and, you know, cut it off here, because who knows how long this interlude can go on for, right? So just to be on the safe side. But yeah, I'm back to recording. I just needed a little break, you know, life and all that fun stuff. But as you all may know, or none of you may know, recording is my, you know, escape from the cruel reality that is having to, you know, live. So it's always fun going through some Fate. And I do hope that these videos are a fun watch for you guys as well. Thank you all for tuning into this episode. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, all that fancy jazz. And I accidentally left my tower fan that I recently got turned on here, oscillating in my room. So if my my noise cancellation AI setting with Elgato is working as intended, you guys will have never heard it. but if it failed, then you guys will definitely hear it. Either way, see you guys in the next one. Take it easy.